Now, a massive explosion ripped through the heart of Beirut in Lebanon, killing at least 100 people and injuring thousands. The death toll is likely to increase over the next few days as authorities go about clearing the debris. On your screens now are the latest aerial visuals from the Lebanese capital. These pictures capture the extent of devastation at the port of Beirut. Much of the port was flattened in Tuesday's blast, thus cutting off the country's major trade artery. Lebanon's president attributed the explosion to a stockpile of ammonium nitrate at the port of Beirut. Close to 2,750 tons of this chemical was being stored at the port for 6 years, and that too without any safety measures. Many commentators in Lebanon have rightly pointed out that this was a disaster waiting to happen. Videos of the incident show a column of smoke rising from the heart of Beirut port, followed by a massive explosion that sent up a mushroom cloud. Such was the impact that it was felt kilometers away, several hundreds of kilometers away. Even hours after the explosion, fires were raging around the blast site. Helicopters were deployed and hundreds of firefighters were called in to control the blaze. Lebanon's president convened an emergency security council meeting. The council recommended that the relief work be carried out by the Lebanese military. 3 days of national mourning has been declared by Lebanon's prime minister. Resources from across the country, including ambulances, are being diverted to Beirut. Lebanon's cabinet will convene later today to form an investigative committee. Let's quickly get in a perspective on the explosion that happened yesterday and what sort of ramifications it will have on Lebanon. For that, I'm joined in by Lebanese anchor and actress Karine Salame, who's joining us live at this hour from Beirut. Thank you so much, Karine, for joining us on this live broadcast. Let me begin by asking you, even though U.S. officials have contradicted the U.S. President Donald Trump, who said that the Lebanon explosion looks like a terrible attack, what do Lebanese authorities have to say?
The Lebanese authorities are confused right now. They really don't know what happened. Too many stories are circulating, but to tell you the truth, we are under the shock as a government and as people of Lebanon. We cannot believe what happened in times of in a few minutes. The country is destroyed completely. Beirut is destroyed completely, and the authorities, to tell you the truth, are very confused. We cannot rely on what the authorities are saying because they are lost in their thoughts, and they have no base ground to rely on.
Right. Karine, have authorities hinted at the explosion being linked to the verdict on former Prime Minister Hariri's assassination?
No, not at all. At first, we thought that the Prime Minister, the ex-Prime Minister Saad al-Hariri, was the one targeted in the explosion. This is what everybody thought at the beginning, but afterwards, everything was clear and he was safe, thank God.
Right. Karine, also with the latest tensions between Israel and Lebanon after Israel recently thwarted an infiltration attempt by the Hezbollah, Israel is also now under the scanner for yesterday's explosion. Any comments from the authorities just yet?
The authorities denied any if I want to say any attack from the Israeli part, but you cannot say no to Israel. Israel can do whatever she wants with Lebanon. The planes are constantly in our sky. Israel is a massive and a true enemy to Lebanon, and everything is possible. But the official statement of the Lebanese government denied that was in Israeli.
Right. Karine, also, last but not the least, the explosion comes at a very sensitive time for Lebanon, be it the coronavirus pandemic or the economic crisis, with the majority of food grain destroyed at the port yesterday. What will be the possible consequences of yesterday's explosion? And will Lebanon now face a food insecurity?
I will tell you one thing. The only one responsible for what happened in Lebanon is our government and our people in charge. We have no people in charge, no responsible people in charge. What will happen to Lebanon is a disaster on all levels. We're going to suffer a lot. We have a lot of casualties, and Beirut is completely destroyed. I cannot explain to you the massive amount of the destruction that happened. If we don't get foreign help, we will not be able to survive. That is for sure.
I was hoping that the foreign nations who have conveyed their condolences actually reach out to Lebanon as well in terms of aid and relief efforts. Thank you so much, Karine Salameh.